What do princesses and tabletop role-playing games have in common? To be honest, probably quite a few things, but for our purposes, they can both be drawn and they can both be mashed together into one drawing, and so we're gonna do that. Welcome back. Oh, I'm getting a little antsy. Hello, hi, how are you? Happy less than 1 month until official fall. I'm so excited. I have been itching to get my paws on a princess to make her into a D&D character again recently. I figured, you know what? Yes. I couldn't find my original list, such as my life, so I did go ahead and put together a list of princesses that we have already done, and also the to-do list. We have already had the pleasure of redressing, I guess, at least redesigning the outfits of the princesses that we've gotten already, which have been Moana, Ariel, Pocahontas, Snow White, and Aurora, which if you haven't seen that, you can check out this playlist right up here and give it a little watch. And that leaves 7 princesses from our original list: Belle, Mulan, Jasmine, Tiana, Rapunzel, Merida, and Cinderella. Ooh, we are 1 princess away from downgrading our dice. Right now, I'm still rolling the 12-sided, but I have a 6-sided ready to go for the next one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to roll this thing. Oh gosh, excuse me. I'm gonna roll this thing. Hopefully it lands somewhere in between 1 and 7. And if it doesn't, then I'm just gonna have to re-roll it. I don't have to explain that. That's a 7, and that is a Cinderella. I'll go ahead and just mark her off of this list and add her to the boring brown one. Okay, we can get rid of these. Now, they do not have to stay in this spread. Actually, you know what? We could probably put these in the back, and that way maybe I won't lose it again. Cinderella, Cinderella. I usually like to start out by drawing the actual character from reference and try to make it like a mix of the original and my style. So we'll see how that turns out. I just got to figure out what Cinderella I want to reference, I guess. She technically has, what, 3? At least 3 outfits, but I think the most iconic is going to be the one of her in her blue ball gown, so I think that's what I'm gonna draw. At least this way too, we get to pick out some colors. I do want to swatch the pink from her pink dress because I kind of want to incorporate like both of those, like the blue, the pink specifically for now. I don't know if that's where her arms are gonna go because of her poofy dress, but that is where they will be. It's always funny to me too that as a little girl, I remember this dress being just immaculate. And now that I am, I don't know, studying it, I guess, it's stinking plain, man. Kids' imaginations are pretty cute. You know, that's one thing I would like to master: dainty hands. I feel like my hands are so chunky. Definitely gotten better, but room for improvement. You know what? I always think it's her headband that is black, but it isn't. It's her choker. Weird. I don't know what the hairdo is. Little bun flopped on top of her headband for some reason. It feels so weird not putting any tendrils on her. Little stick legs. Like, what kind of hand is that? That looks like a plastic fork. This down here might be a little more roughly than I gave it credit for. Not too much. Give it a little bit more movement. Sure. It is kind of insinuated that her dress is sparkly too in some scenes, so I'll just add dots. I mean, that's Cinderella-y enough. And then we'll use her to do the blue swatches. And then I'll just do the pink swatches over here, I guess, based on my references. Okay. Let's find out your epidermis color, ma'am. I think her skin is going to be a YR030. In my reference, she doesn't have blush, but she's going to. So let's try YR34 Creamy Peach. I think that'll be a good. Yeah, those are good. Literally look identical on the paper. We know they're different. That's important. Okay, as far as hair goes, references are all over the place. I know that she's a blonde. Is it a dark blonde? Is it a golden blonde? Depends on something. I don't know. But it's like all different. So I'm gonna just pick the one that I remember, I guess. I think Y29 is gonna be her best bet. A little melon yellow action. Easy enough. Kind of the same situation with the dress. Depends on if it looks more white, more blue, but I remember it being blue. I go back and forth with the gloves and like the little accent pieces being blue or white, but I think that they're a light blue, so I'm gonna use this blue for it. And this blue is B220. Palish grayish blue. Oh, I'm sorry. It's pale grayish blue. I made the word palish up. I think the main dress is going to be BV35, a little Arctic blue. And that's her headband color too, I'm learning. I think her eyes and her lips are the last thing, really. It looks like her lips are like a reddish corally color. R1 might be good. Oh, it's coral pink, so I think that's probably perfect. Actually, that's pretty much spot on. Looks like she is a dark blue, actually. Specifically, a denim blue. Except for the pink dress, which was, can we be honest, hideous. 180. Hollyhock. I haven't seen this in a minute. And this dress is vibrant. And there's a light pink bow as well, which I picked light hot pink, so that's perfect. She also has like these teal beads on, so I'm gonna swatch that too. Yeah, I think our color hoard is now complete. I'm gonna use this space over here. Brainstorm, I think. Specifically, I want to brainstorm what makes Cinderella her and what I think she would be fun to play as. Get into the nitty gritty of it. As far as princess traits go, I think of her as these things, like just being very dainty, patient, and kind. Cinderella specifically kind of is like the definition of like strength and silence type of deal. You know what I mean? Like she has like a silent resilience, I guess. Silent resilient? Yeah. Like her stepmom and her stepsisters treat her like poop, but she still is kind, takes care of others, and still does all of the things, even though they're little nasties. You know, I got a few Cinderella things written down as well. Basically just like your normal stuff. You got the fairy godmother, the glass slipper, blah, 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 blah. Anything that I could think of that pertained to Cinderella specifically. Let's talk about background stuff. And then maybe my class pick will make a little more sense. I feel like her background makes her a very strong individual overall. Like mentally strong, I guess, would be what I'm trying to say. Just enduring that for years and not knowing if she was ever going to see anything differently. And she was still resilient. So you have to be mentally strong for that to be even possible. I think you could probably say then that her strength, inner strength. Yeah, that is what I was trying to say. I would say that her strength comes from overcoming hardship, you know, still wanting to care for others even though they don't treat her very nicely. And I think that's a good. That's a good. We don't ever see her with any kind of weapon, really. So what is that called? Thank you. With unarmed, hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. I do think that if we are putting her into a class for Dungeons and Dragons, it is probably safe to say that she's going to be fighting at some point. So if she were to fight, I feel like it would be not out of like anger or, yeah, not out of anger. I feel like it would be out of wanting to overcome like cruelty. I feel like she would be standing up for something. It would always be for the good. So taking all of that stuff into consideration, poised, patient, kind, nurturing, but still a very strong, quiet force. That is why I think Cinderella would be a very fun monk. Ooh, Monkarella. Don't think I'm not going to write that either. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it as Cinderella does, but it is the name that I have written. Plus, I think we can do a couple cool like little flavor things with her. I'm getting a little excited. Monks. Well, probably not just, well, I don't know. Okay. They have key. And I think that it would be cool if her key, kind of like what we have over here, is like manifested as the fairy godmother sprinkle, sparkle, glittery bits and like the swirly thing that goes around her whenever she transforms. There's also this ability called Step of the Wind, where it looks like she's like twirling and dancing at the ball. Maybe even like a little like after images, maybe. I don't know. I just think that would be really cool. Also, at first, I was a little worried because I was like, she is like the only princess that has very specifically a focus on her shoes. And I didn't know how I was going to incorporate that into the monk role, because generally whenever I think of a monk, I think of feet wraps or bare feet. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, oh my gosh, it is perfect that she has glass slippers, because no matter what, her shoes can be glass, because that will remind her as a monk to be light on her feet.
That is awesome.
You think so? I think so too. Methinks this paint marker is on its last leg. I also don't know what I'm doing with this layout, but I kind of like it. I guess it's simplified drawing time. I think it would be kind of cool too, because I think I struggle with incorporating key elements into the character itself at the end. I ended up, I'm realizing, just basically redesigning the outfits, which is fine. But I was thinking for her, what if we gave her some like pretty cool tattoos or something? I think that would be neat. Maybe pumpkin vines or a carriage, or like the mice with the sewing needles. I don't know. I'm thinking a sleeve, maybe some neck. We'll find out. One thing that I do know with the outfit is I want it to read like a monk outfit if it had a small child with a ballerina outfit. I want it to feel light, and I keep going back to the word dainty, but that literally is the only thing that I can think of. I also feel like that would be the kind of fighter that she is, just very graceful. I mean, she lost her shoe on the biggest staircase I have ever seen in my life and did not tumble down every stair. That's pretty impressive. I also know that I want there to be bows. Oh, bo. I'm envisioning her hair up, but I mean, it's already up. So like, I am going to go ahead and just do her normal little updo for one of these. That stupid little floppy bit. Dumb. I don't like it. I also know that I really like in those monk outfits where they have like their torsos wrapped. So it's kind of like a corset, but it's just wrapped and there's like a bow in front. I think that would be cute. Ooh, let me draw something to symbolize some sort of tattooage, because I definitely think I want to do that. Also, thinking about ballerina things. They always have those cute little like wrap shirts. What if the top was like a sheer type of wrap type of situation? I want it to be feminine, and I want it to hark back to her, but also monk. You know, I came up with a couple more outfit ideas, and as a surprise to no one, I like them all. I think I am going to end up taking elements of all of them, I guess. I do think too that okay. I tried a couple different half up, half down do's because I felt like all the way down didn't make any sense, but half up, half down might. And I don't like it. I think I prefer her original hairstyle, which is so weird because I had a lot to say about that little floppy top. That stupid little floppy bit. But here we are. I want to get some line work on here, obviously lighten them, so that you guys can see kind of what I've got going on here. And then we're going to do color things. Oh, also for the shoes, I ended up giving them all the same shoes because it made the most sense to me. And so that is what I did. What are those? Hang on. What are those shoes called? Oh, okay. Well, apparently they are called Gaita clogs, Gaita shoes, wooden block Gaita shoes. So I gave them all those, but instead of wood, it is glass. And then just little leg wraps. I thought that would be just fine. I really like the idea of arm wraps too because it reminds me of her gloves, and I think that would be a good little callback, you know? I think too it'd be cute if there was little bows on the back of the wraps on her shoes. Don't look at those Barney Rubble feet. You know, I said that I have already decided against the half up, half down, but I've already drawn them, so I'm just gonna continue to do so. These proportions are a little weird, but I can see the vision, so we think it's fine. You know, it's not good to decide to draw whenever you don't know how to draw feet. Open-toed shoes. I will learn by doing, I guess. I think if anyone was gonna have an arm wrap, it's probably gonna be her. She's the least busy. You already have sleeves. You can't have them. And actually, this hair over here is kind of cute now that I'm looking at it because I switched the stupid little back bump into a rockabilly type of bangs with the headband, and I kind of like that. I think it's good. I like it. Now maybe you can see the vision a little bit better. Lots of layers, lots of wrapping. In this one here, I tried to incorporate the little padded hip pieces, and I liked it, but I felt like the proportions were off, like I mentioned, and so I tried it again over here a little bit smaller, and I do like that. I also like the idea of like a little back cape situation, also some sheer bits, basically monk, but make it the girliest thing you've ever seen. Go ahead and get their skin on real fast, and then we can figure out colors and layering and all that fun stuff. Those are all of the bits that aren't gonna change. Also, while it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a monk to wear lipstick, I guess, she still gets it. BV35 was what we picked out for the main dress and the headband. I think I'm gonna make these pants the main dress color. Make her headband that color too. I'm trying to think if I want to make these over here, like if I just want to make the underneath layers the main dress color, that would make sense. Yeah, let's do it. I'm just gonna put this color on all the headbands because I don't know what other color it would be, to be honest. Definitely think that there needs to be a light blue somewhere, but where? Conundrum. I'm thinking maybe this sheer bit over here, and probably this part and these bits. Now I might not use all of these extra swatches, but I do want to use some, and I think I want it to be the pink in the middle. Maybe the bow. Would that be too much? You know what? I like that. I think that's cute. I also like the idea of the pink and blue kind of being intermixed because it kind of calls back to the scene when her pink dress got all like ripped up, and so it looks like she picked up her pink dress and incorporated it into like her sashes and stuff. I think that's kind of cool. I also don't know why, but I really like the idea of just having lots of like flowing bits everywhere. Yeah, I think that is a good starting point. I think, honestly, where all of the colors ended up is good. I kind of like the darker because it feels a little less, oh, what are those things called? You know, like the twirly things with the wings and it goes, woo, what? Twirly fairy toy pull thing. Sky dancers. Yes. These. I don't want it to be quite like that, although I guess that wouldn't be awful. Wow, can I just make a decision? Let me do some zhuzhing around and squinching together and see what I can come up with. Okay, I did a little futzing around and I think I have finally come up with an outfit combination that I'm happy about. So I'm going to show you because I made a little swatch sheet because I wanted to draw her on our marker paper, and if we're going to be using a different paper than my sketchbook, then you know that's how it works. You got to swatch on the paper that you're going to use. And so this right here is what I came up with. I like it. In general, the color placement and stuff too, I think is also good, and I really do love her hair like this, but I think I am going to keep it with the updo because it just doesn't make sense to have it down. Also, I really like the shirt being like a high collar shirt, like all the way up on her neck, making that black and like the chest area see-through. So it kind of calls back to her original choker. I think it is sufficiently Cinderella-y enough. And so I put a sketch together, but I only wanted to get the pose down and then we can put the clothes and stuff and all of her bits and bobs on her and then color her together. Yes. Yeah, here is said sketch. I wanted it to be in a kind of ballerina-y pose slash, I always want to say monkey, but I'm not talking about the animal. Monk-ish. Is that? Yes, monk-like. Thank you. Because monk-ish sounds like monkfish, which is also an animal that I'm not speaking of. Okay. Basically, I wanted it to look like a, oh, man, I was going to say a monk and a ballerina had a baby, but that is actually a human. I wanted the pose to be graceful but strong. Okay, there we go. I think that her hair turned out really cute. I think that's probably the best way that I could have made that floppy little doodad look fine. And so now we just got to put this on here, which is kind of fun. Kind of reminds me of playing with paper dolls, which honestly would also be a very fun thing to do. I am going to lighten this up just a bit so I can see where the clothes are laying. Oh, I didn't include her tattoos and we didn't really design them, did we? I kind of know what I want though. Pretend this is an arm. And in the final, I'll probably just hint at these things, not draw them perfectly. It's thinking like a pumpkin carriage, little swirly bits, kind of filling out the tattoo. I want it to look kind of magical. Surprise, surprise. We have a mouse with like a little sewing needle. It's just kind of little odes to the original. And I imagined that her shirt piece and her shorts that she is wearing underneath is like all one piece. So I'm going to draw it. I'm going to put her little waist thing on. I ended up doing a mix of a corset type of thing and the waist wrap that I was really enjoying. And then I kept the little hip pieces, but I brought them in quite a bit because this one over here almost gave me beetle cosplay vibes. Like she had like a little exoskeleton on her hippies. Bringing it in helped a lot. I also gave her like these little I don't know, what are these? Dangle? You know what? These are dangle bangles and they are kind of see-through to kind of cover up that leg a little bit because it was a little too showy for me. Forget her ankle bows. Wait. Oh, she doesn't get ankle bows. Dang it. You get bows up here. Kind of makes me sad that you can't see this shoe, but at least we'll get a perfect profile view of this one. Is that it? Are those all of the elements? I think so. Oh, oops. It is not all of the elements because the tattoo, the thing that I said, oh, I don't want to forget that. Oh, guess what? Forgot that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Also, I just want to say that I know that I mentioned earlier about how I hate drawing feet and I don't know how to draw feet. And guess what? This whole process has forced me to learn how to draw feet. I feel like that's a pretty dang good foot, man. That's something you stand on. All right, let's lighten her up and get some line work on this puppy. And then my favorite part, the actual favorite part. Wow. Okay. We're going to do some fun coloring. Okay. I'll be right back. So I got the line work. Wait. Hold on. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that is what I did. Okay. I got the line work done. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the underpainting real fast so that we can just put a nice clean layer of the colors on top. I am so excited to show you guys because I think this is like my most favoriteest so far. Yeah. Okay. Boop. I love it. I love it. The pose. Okay. Don't hype myself up very often. And I just need a moment because the pose turned out so good. It is strong and centered, but still like it doesn't feel stiff to me. I think I can see my improvement, and that is a very happy time. As for the underpainting, gosh, I'm just gonna look at it for a minute. Okay, as for the underpainting, I did these two colors. I did the E380 Ash Rose for the skin and hair, and then the BG3 Blue Gray 3 for the clothes and the eyes. Yeah, and the background. I mean, obviously. Right. And I only did the background because I want to make sure that I want to make sure I know where I want the background to be. Put these two away for now so I don't get confusion. Ooh, and one more thing. You know this color? The color of her beaded necklace, apparently, that she has with her pink dress? We didn't really use it. I do have this Posca marker. I mean, that's close enough, right? I was thinking about once we get this colored, maybe giving her beading or something somewhere with this just to kind of bring it in, but we shall see. Just a thought swirling around in me head. That's another good thing about not covering up the knees with the wraps, is that I can do my knee blushes. I did decide to make the top shawl here transparent. It wasn't originally. Oh wait, it was here. It wasn't here. I thought that it would make sense from like an outfit perspective if this transparent piece was tucked into her corset and is also this piece. You know, like that makes sense to me. Hopefully I didn't let that blush dry too much with my yapping. I think it'll be okay. Am I fretting a little too early? Yeah, probably. But then if I didn't, I wouldn't be me. Speaking of skin, I have an addition to mine, and I'm curious to know if you guys have noticed. I mean, obviously it is somewhere that you guys can see, because how silly would that be for me to be like, oh, I've gotten something new and haha, did you notice it's on my toe? Don't mind this part right here because I scratched myself. That's not part of it. Me and my best friend went and got little tattoos on our hands of little heart freckles in the color green. It was her first tattoo. It was such a good time. Before I pointed it out, did any of you actually notice? I'm so curious. I love that I just said something about blending and how it might be harder because I yap. Did I learn anything from saying that? Nope. You know what? This is the first time I think I've ever said this, but I'm going to finish the face first. That's a good face. All of these faces turned out good, and so I have some confidence, and I probably should have said that after, but okay. You know what? We press on. Do some hair action as well. I mean, while we're up here on the old noggin, put a little bit more blush under her nose just for that shadow. The pink is next, which I'm going to do the light hot pink first, and we'll use the RV180 for a little bit of shading. And lastly is our dark blue corset, and then be done? Question mark? What the heck? Okay, are you guys ready to see it? I'm so excited about this one. It is ridiculous. Okie dokie, artichokes. Here she is, all done. Our sweet little Cinderella reimagined as a monk class in D&D. I had so much fun putting together this whole spread. Literally, I am just very excited to fill in these little empty spaces and get her in here. I wonder if I can do something in the background just to make her pop a little bit more. I did incorporate our Posca marker shadow underneath her, and if you notice, I did put like a little beaded waistband on her, and it just turned out so stinking cute. Ah, I love it. I love it. I just feel like I'm starting to see the progress that I'm making with doing art more often, and it just makes my little heart just very happy. I had a blast today. I hope you did too. And if you doodled along, please post your creations on social media and tag me. You can find me here on Instagram and here on Blue Sky. We also have a community tab here on YouTube, so if you would like to post your art there, you can. I want to see every single stinking thing that you make. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. And until I see you next week, don't forget to be kind to yourself. Bye!